Welcome to the New York Now podcast, a modern wholesale market for retailers and specialty buyers seeking diversity and discovery. Gathering twice a year in America's design capital, New York City, it's where buyers and designers unearth a refreshed and dedicated collection of eclectic lifestyle products.
Welcome to the New York Now podcast. I'm Amy Lowenberg, Relations and Partnership Development Manager, and I'll be bringing to you important information, conversation, and perspectives from both sides of the aisle. Today I'm talking with Kathy Piccari, owner of Pineapple on Main in Dublin, Pennsylvania. You'll hear why she decided to move ahead with the expansion of her store in a challenging retail climate, and how her vision and bold moves are helping to develop a part of a larger revitalization project focused on community building. After soaking up several years of sales and management experience in the big box retail industry, Kathy decided to take a leap of faith and promote herself to independent retail store owner. After 5 years of branding and scaling Pineapple on Main, she accomplished her goal of creating a sweet retail destination for all your joyful gift-giving needs. This indie store owning journey has been well spent establishing and maintaining close relationships with her vendors, bonding with the best customers, and curating the sweetest selection of well-made, reasonably priced, ethically sourced gifts for home, baby, and you. She's consistently inspired by retail trends and the modernization of in-store and online shopping experiences, which motivates her to keep working on making Palm a better place for you to enjoy, visit, and shop. Hi, Kathy. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I know how busy you are these days, so I really appreciate that you're taking some time to share with us just what you've been up to. So before we talk about what you're doing right now, let's jump back in time a bit. And why don't you tell us the history of Pineapple on Main, or POM, as it's so affectionately known as. Tell us about your beautiful product assortment and how you came upon the name Pineapple on Main.
So it's kind of not a very straight path to where I am today.
Are they ever?
Yeah, I know. So it might feel like it's jumping around a little bit, but I was in big box retail for a long time and really climbed that corporate ladder quickly. I was just at the right place at the right time. And I just fell in love with, I was a teacher, an English teacher, high school English teacher, and my kids were very, very young and it just wasn't the right fit. I made a pivot to retail and I just fell in love with it. And the company was small, so I was able to grow. The company then got a little bit too big and there were all these rules, how to style a table and how to answer the phone and how to greet somebody at the door and how to answer questions. And it just got to the point where I felt there was so much opportunity for me to connect with a customer more so than I was allowed to in big box retail. And the company that I was with was so amazing. I mean, I've been a single mom for a really long time and they just helped me. I never made a sacrifice. It was just a great opportunity, but I wanted to do more. So I left the company and I became an interior designer. So I went back to school, got that done, and started doing interior design. And I networked with an event planner, very, very popular event planner in Philadelphia, and she needed an event stylist. So I kind of started styling events with her, and we ended up going into a space together in Philadelphia, and we were an event management destination. I had a business partner at the time, so we were doing the styling. We had the planner, and then we had a floral designer, and the four of us just had this beautiful space. We wanted to open it up to everybody to come in and even host events there. So I wanted everyone to come in and feel very welcome every time they walked in there. And that's where Pineapple came from, and I think it was just part of our lives always. And it just stuck with how we wanted people to feel when they did business with us, like they were friends, like we could just have a great relationship with each other. So Pineapple, we were on Main Street, Pineapple on Main, and it just stuck. So
that's a great story. I mean, I know what the pineapple means, like welcoming and giving gifts for your home. So it makes perfect sense. I love the story. It's a great story.
Yeah.
So to reemphasize, POM is a modern yet classic store in Philadelphia, specializing in home furnishings and accents, children's room decor and giftware. So let me ask you now, is there something that you like
best store? Is there something that you favor a little bit more in your store? Where's your heart?
My heart is with Palm Baby.
Palm Baby.
Palm Baby. I mean, I have branded it. There's a new logo coming. There's a whole
Excited.
world of Palm Baby coming as a brand. It's in itself that it is just warmed my heart. I live it. I love it. I love my home and gift section, but that baby just has my heart. It really does. So that has grown tremendously over the past 5 years. It really has.
I also know that you're a conscious retailer and that you offer like eco-friendly and organic materials. And I know that you believe a lot in giving back. I'm pretty sure a lot of the lines that you represent support the story and helping others.
Yes, absolutely. And that wasn't anything that I had initial intention of doing. When I went to Atlanta, when I went to New York now for the first time, I was introduced to brands that did good. And I was like, wow, like I can have a store and I can do good for the world, not just like my teeny tiny store, but like the world. And then I was like, well, wait, there's baby stuff that comes in organic cotton. Like my kids had the itchy, scratchy polyester everything. And now there's organic cotton, better materials that just make an impact on the world and in your home. And that became like honestly, the staple. It came the staple in the brand. So every time I bring in a new line. I just really love to have that giving component and also the impact that it can make.
It's so important, and I know you are too. I'm so appreciative that the story and the purpose finally is getting it's resonating more. It's louder than ever, and it's more important
Yes.
than ever. So to have more retailers support that story is really just going to help our people.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it. So now let's just jump a little into like where you are now. So I know Palm is in the square in Dublin, and it's a part of a larger revitalization project focused on bringing community and a town square mentality to Dublin. Can you share some more about your new location and what's happening? Anything exciting you can tease us with?
Yeah, I would love to. And you just saying that and me listening, I have chills.
Uh,
It's such a special opportunity. And I knew it was a good idea because at the time I had the store in Philadelphia. So I was approached to open a second location in Dublin. And when I say Dublin, it's like a 2 mile town and it's super tiny. And when I told people, they were like, what are you doing there compared to Main Street in Philadelphia? And I just in my heart, in my soul, I knew that it was a very special project. I mean, they are just trying to build community, a town center right there in little, sweet, cute Dublin that has already brought so many people together. And I'm just so grateful for this opportunity. And not just for me, but the people who live in the area too. There's a place to go to shop and to eat. And we host pre-COVID, hosting First Fridays and ladies' nights and food truck events and workshops. And next
fun.
year we have so many things planned. It's funny because last year we kept saying, next year we're going to do it all. Next year we're going to do it all. And now we're like, next year we're going to do it all. So we still have everything planned, but so they're building a wine bar, breweries coming, a bunch of restaurants, more retail. I'm expanding. There's going to be a
Wait. You're expanding?
so the space that I'm going into in the next few weeks, it's 3 times the size of my store now.
That is so super exciting
It's insane.
and a little scary, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's fear that's sitting right here in my belly. But yeah, I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. So there's just a lot that's coming, and almost 100 townhomes are coming to the property that just
Wow.
over time will be organic foot traffic that I
Yep.
am very excited to, I guess, just be a part of that and the families that are going to be there and things like that. So all over, it's just a great big, I call it the land of opportunity because I've seen people flourish in months there. And I think it's a very special situation. So
okay, well now you just gave me goosebumps because it is all about retail and community and growth right now. It's
yes.
so good to hear this, especially now. I know you're in the process of relocating. So what has that been like, just relocating in these times?
Oh man. I mean, I was in Philadelphia and it was my lease was up the end of March. And I thank the Lord above that that's the way it worked out because there's no way I could have survived in Philadelphia. I mean, just the rent alone was so hard. And I wasn't working with a landlord who really appreciated hardship on behalf of a small business owner, even though she is one. So it was just difficult to just have that rapport of understanding and a little bit of sacrifice and a little bit of compassion and all that. It just didn't work. So up here in Dublin, it's a lot different. So during COVID, we've come together to just stay strong in this and then expanding. I mean, just every resource that's available in that area, in that county, we are presented with. So it's been very, very helpful. And it's made obviously this transition and expansion a possibility.
And you kind of touched on it before, but you have probably a little bit of a new demographic of customer now too.
Completely different. I mean, it's like city, country, and income, career, age, gender. I mean, all of it is just completely different. And I had very wonderful, lovely customers in Philadelphia, but I think my brand is much better suited in Bucks County. I do a lot of the home goods and the baby stuff, and I think people have homes, whereas they had college dorms or apartments or very tight spaces, so they weren't looking for anything to furnish their home with. And so they loved it, but it just wasn't, nothing was ever an impulse purchase with that because I don't think that they were equipped to, have that kind of purchasing down in Philadelphia. So,
Well, it sounds like you have a really good base clientele right now, and you're expanding to a more needy customer
yeah.
of your goods.
Yep. I mean, it is literally my target audience is where I am. So,
That sounds fantastic.
oh yeah, I'm super, super fortunate.
What about with everything going on right now, online sales and digital markets? They've grown exponentially. New York now is one of them, especially over this last year. Have you developed any new retail strategies in this digital age?
I mean, I think the digital is the new retail strategy for me, to be honest with you, because I am one that, I mean, as an interior designer, the fabrics, the textures, the materials that I got to see, touch, feel in person, the quality, all of that I was just very used to. And so going to shows was always very important to me so I could see the product and connect with the brand in person. So now digitally, it's a pivot. It really is for me. And it has been hard. I don't like scrolling through, digitally and like, I have a hard time putting things together unless it's all right there in front of me. So, when you go to a showroom and you're just like this and this and this, and it all works well. So it's a little bit harder for me to do it through catalogs and things like that. Also with sales reps, some of them haven't felt comfortable bringing samples in, because they want to keep the social distance component and, and the integrity of their own brand, not kind of facilitating those kind of meetings in person, things like that. So I have just been trying to take advantage of every video, every virtual showroom tour that I could in order to just kind of get the best representation of the brand and the product that I possibly could.
Yeah, I mean, I know interior designers and buyers, you're all very visual people, and very tactile. So it is a very different way to buy for
Mhm.
sure. But I think you said it too. It really is the new way. And I think it's a matter of blending
Yeah.
because we're not just going to be digital from this point on. We will be face to face at some point.
Yes.
But what digital does is it really enhances the ability to make your purchase. And I think teaches us all how to buy differently.
Yeah.
And we have to do that. It's that next part of evolving into the times that we're in right now.
Yep.
We may not want to, but we have to do it.
Yeah. And especially, it's crazy because if you didn't buy in January, you thought you were just going to buy in August and that didn't happen. Right. So now you're
Right.
trying to buy for Q4 and then you have delays and back orders and orders that have been completely canceled.
Yeah.
Things aren't showing up. Vendors can't get their materials themselves. I mean, even with Zest, India shut down, and with Cuddle and Kind, Peru shut down. And all of a sudden it's like, this is a staple Q4. What am I going to do? So, I mean, there's not one part of this like whole hierarchy of retail that no one has not felt. Everyone has felt it. Everyone has felt this. So I think it's honestly a little bit better because everyone is going through this. So we all understand that this is a hot mess, but then we're all here to kind of vent to each other too. Like, oh,
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, it's hard. It's been really hard, especially for Q4. And even that's kind of unknown. So we're all just like, well, let's take a shot at this.
Yeah.
And if we land,
Yeah, let's dive in there a little bit more. I want to jump around a little bit because I've talked with so many retailers who are still just not sure how to purchase at this time. And I mean, come on, you would have had your holiday merchandise a long time ago. It would have been priced and ready to go in your back room.
Yep.
So, and I also know that not all stores purchase in the same manner, obviously. But what have you fallen upon? Like, can you share any insights of where you are? Like, how are you managing this, or is it managing you?
So I am being guided by the hardships of my vendors and my orders, also the needs and the urgency from my customers. So that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of anxiety. And I'm just trying to get it so that I can work with the vendor. I can give my customer what they need. And I can kind of try to keep it calm. Do you know what I mean? Like, as far as holiday is concerned, it's so hard because the more you're involved in retail, right? Like you can go so many different directions with being a retail store owner, right? There's so many things you could do. And I think that if you're passionate about it, you want to be involved in a little bit of everything. So you're reading articles and you're listening to webinars and you hear everything from buy light and leave sales on the table, or go to town in October and let it ride, and it's like, I feel like everything's very extreme. So it's hard to make that decision. You don't want to miss the sales, but you don't want to sit on holiday stuff in February, right? I mean, both of those are just sad positions to be in, right?
Right.
So, I mean, my customers are the ones that are like, hey, you have any Christmas stuff back there? Cause I'm buying now. And I'm unconventional at this point. Sure, come in the back room, see what I have. It's a mess. Love me anyway. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like there are no rules now. There's usually like a big reveal, and it's not. It's just like, it's here. It's here. You need it. It's here. So I feel like, and then I'm just praying on reorders if I can possibly reorder, so I'll talk to the vendor. What are the chances if this does sell out? Let's hope it does, that I can reorder. What's the time frame? And then I kind of go from there. Also trying to stay very neutral with things. I think that's what everyone seems to be doing. Just maybe something, a gift that can be in your store all year round, but you're going to wrap it in bells or wrap it in nice paper or wrap it in gold ribbon and really kind of present it as holiday, even though it might not be the quintessential red, green, glittering silver and gold kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I think more neutral, but just dressing it up has been very helpful. So
yeah, I think you're 100% right. It depends on who you talk to is the story you're going to get and the advice you're going to get. And just like you said before, it kind of has to come from your heart and just follow your instincts at some point.
Yeah. And just forgive yourself. This is the year that we just have to try our best. And if it doesn't work, forgive ourselves. If it's the best thing, then just be very grateful, and you kind of just have to take it day by day because there's no science to this, Amy. There's no science to this. There's no formula. I mean, we have KPIs all day, every day, and we look at them and we strive to exceed. And then it's like, well, what does this look like? What are we supposed to anniversary our year? Well, you know what? Some people are like, I'm going to do 30% to LY. Some people are like, if I do what I did last year, I'll be happy. So I think personality kind of takes over retail store right now. And if you're ambitious and you're aggressive, you're shooting for the moon. If you're conservative as a person anyway, you're just going to kind of stay afloat. So I don't think any trends are hitting right now. I think it's more personality flair. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I think that's a really interesting point too, because again, I think region has a lot to do with it and what's going on in your community. In my travels, I've experienced stores in these small little enclaves that are their business is booming, and then you cross the street and go around the corner, and that's just not the story.
Right.
So there are so many different variables. You kind of do have to fall on your own merit and
Yep.
decide what direction you want to go in.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I will also say that is what I hear a lot too, is now's the time. Like if you were going to try something, you should do it now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about your social media, because you're so active on Instagram. I mean, that's how I met you and have just very quickly fallen in love with you. So
thank you.
I know that you're big on YouTube and Facebook. So talk to us a little bit about building your community there.
It's so funny because I hate being in front of the camera. I hate it.
Really?
And oh, I do. I do. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned through this is that like stop trying to make everything perfect. Stop trying to because the goal of this right now is to survive and to thrive. And it's not going to happen if you make sure that every detail is met. No one has the time. And when I was literally frizzy hair, no makeup, sweatshirt on, and I didn't have a filter, or I tried to find a good filter, and people were like, I just saw that, I'll be right over. And in 10 minutes, they walked in my store because they were sitting at home bored and saw it and just ran over. I'm like, there is something to this. And they're like, we love your unboxing. I'm like, well, then I'll unbox all day, every day, if that's what you like, So you just have to get out of your comfort zone because it's not me that they want. I can provide customer service no matter what I look like, right? That's my mission, is just good customer service, integrity, and give back to the world as much as I can. But I don't have to look perfect to provide great customer service. They want to see my product. And as long as that looks pretty, then we're golden, right? So social media is just a way for them to see it when they want, where they want, how they want. They can go back to it. They can reach out. I'm very social, like as far as like responding. I mean, instantly. I don't like to wait. And I think that if you're going to be the first one to answer and reply and ship out an order, then you're going to be the first one to get it when they make a repeat purchase. Do you know what I mean? So I just try to be the first one there for them when they need something, and that COVID taught me that the shutdown, I feel like I am speaking for myself here, but you kind of, not that I take advantage of anything ever, but I got very comfortable with the people coming into my store every day, right? Like I just got used to people coming in every day and having nice conversations and buying something and coming to me when there was a purpose, or coming to me because they just wanted to be in the store. And that was easy, right? And then when you didn't have that, it's like, whoa, like now is the time that I need to figure out exactly who I am, exactly what the brand is, exactly who I'm speaking to, and I need to find them, right? So then it's like social. Well, then I want to be a social with them here on my phone, because that's the only resource we have right now, just as I am when they come in the store, So I just made myself available. That's it. It wasn't pretty. It's not always pretty. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I just want them to know that I'm here if they need something. And it's been working. People appreciate that,
I definitely think they appreciate it. I see the activity on Instagram for sure. But I would also say that this is part of where we are right now, and this is the evolution. So your selling and your customer service, I mean, sure, we sold online, and sure, we were active on Instagram, but I mean, I don't have the numbers, but I'm sure that's just skyrocketed just over the last few months alone, right? Just because of where we are. And I would say that kind of circles back to shopping digitally. This is shifting and changing, and shopping digitally should allow us to communicate faster with your resources, who need to be able to provide you the information faster, so that you can place an order.
Yeah, for sure.
Are vendors still offering like incentives and term discounts, or what are you seeing?
I'm going to be open and honest about this as far as what I'm experiencing. I have some companies who have reached out to me because they need help and they want to push, and they now need to go to the store owners themselves and just say, hey, what do you think? And it has been such an honor to like interact with the companies themselves as far as like, what do you think we should do next? And do you think we should do incentives, and you think we should do discounts, and you think we should do this and that? So there are some companies that are digging deep themselves and giving what they can during this time because they don't want to see their stockists go anywhere either. So it's like, can we extend some terms? And they're coming out and offering it. I'm not even asking, can we do a net 30, 60 something? Can we give you a kickback? Or if you purchase a certain amount now, can we give you a credit later? Just like trying to they need to keep those orders coming just as much as we need to keep the orders coming, as well. So I do find that there are some that have been trying really hard. I also find that that some aren't at all whatsoever and have completely shut down. And it's hard for them to meet the needs also with their materials that they need as well. So a lot of my vendors, of several, have cut out wholesale orders so that they can sell direct to consumer, which if I were in their position, I would probably do the same thing because it's money. And if they can direct that, I just feel that there's a big hit that's going to come to the stores themselves if they're not able to keep up with the newest merchandise from these companies. And when you just cancel orders, and when you back order orders, and when you say, sorry, I'm keeping the new stuff, you can't have it, we're going to sell it direct to customer, it pulls away from the stockist. So I've seen two very extreme cases where whatever we can do for you, Kathy, we're going to do, or sorry, Kathy, we got to cut you out because we need it all for ourselves. And I don't think anything, I can't speak on behalf of them, so I'm not saying anything's wrong. It's just, it's impacted our stores tremendously,
Yeah.
I mean, when I have customers calling, oh my gosh, I saw the new stuff launch. Can I come in tomorrow and pick up the entire collection? And I said, well, I don't have it. I can't get it. I won't have it until January. I'm not making big purchases in January. Do you know what I mean? So it's just hard. So, I mean, I feel for everybody. And like I said, there's not one person in this that hasn't been hit with a hardship. So I understand. It's just a shame that there's not a way to like navigate so that both of us, we can all kind of like work together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I mean, the retail terrain has changed, and it's going to continue to change.
Yeah.
And we'll start to even feel the subtleties that we're not even aware of right now down the road.
Yep.
But I hear what you're saying, and I get it. If somebody has to make a decision for their business,
yes,
you hope that they've thought far enough out to understand who they're not working with anymore, and does that impact their business. On the flip side, let's hope that they did, and they made a very tough choice to move in a direction that they had to.
Yeah. But I just don't think. No, and I agree. And I don't think we'll see the aftermath or the effect of these decisions until the spring, summer even. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what this all means. And it could turn out to be the best thing that's happened to everybody. We don't know. But I do know that there are some people out there like that they've recognized this and they're trying to like cut in and say, hey, listen, I saw that you can't carry this product anymore. I sell this product. Can you consider bringing in something similar? And that's when some of the indie makers are coming out and, reaching out on social media and really trying to like grasp that market for themselves. And I'm like, that's impressive, So, but then there's also me trying to navigate on every social buying platform, that virtual buying platform that I can, searching where can I find something similar. So there's like it's just trying to fill the void. And kind of like in a panic, kind of like, do you know what I mean? So there's just everything's getting thrown at us, and I think if you're the one looking, watching, staying in tune to what's going on, you're going to be the one to get the orders and you're going to be the one to get the sales, and you just got to be on it, hyper focused.
I do. But I also appreciate somebody reaching out to you because they are tuned in, and that is the way to develop their business. And you do have to be aggressive in a certain way. And like you said before, you have to try.
Yep.
You have to try. Now's the time. You kind of answered a question that I had before about if your categories were shifting and changing, and it sounds like maybe they all are a little bit, depending on who your vendor is and if you have access to them.
Yeah. I mean, I have noticed during this whole thing that baby has really gone through the roof, because you can't, especially March, April, May, June, July, you couldn't go to the hospitals. You couldn't meet grandparents, couldn't even meet their new grandbabies. And they were calling me, Kathy, can you just put together something really sweet and send it to my daughter, send it to my son, because I just really need to be there in some capacity. So that's how baby just took off. And I was writing the sweetest note, crying of these notes, like, I never thought I wouldn't be there for the birth of you. Oh my goodness. So, that was super special. So that's why I just started to think, wow, I really need to put a lot of time and energy and effort into the baby. Also, I have the sweetest customers ever that call me and say, can you just send something nice to my sister? She's having a hard time with this. My neighbor is having a hard time. My cousin is having a hard time. Can you just send something sweet? And so that's been a huge gift to me as well, as far as business, because people just want to do good right now for each other. And I've never seen it this heightened as far as that kind of mental health awareness as I have today, and people trying to reach out, even if it's just a card. They're like, write this message and send it. So I feel like joyful gifts and baby, have been so now I'm on the hunt, right? I'm like, now I want to make people happy forever. So now I'm like kind of shifting my brand with home and gift to just be more joyful, and be more just aware of the impact that it can, how a gift can make somebody feel.
Yeah, it sounds like you're a very big resource for a lot of people. Which just leads me to ask you, what are your resources? Education is so critical to our success. Like, what are your go-to?
So I belong to a retail group myself. So I belong to a master shopkeeper group that has been very, very important, and not just education, but also emotional support. And I think that you need to find your people in your industry that you could really hold on to and just vent to and cry to, and kind of pivot your hopes and dreams, because some people have had to close their stores, but they still want to do something amazing. So we kind of all get together on Zoom calls and just try to hash it out and help. So I think emotionally, my master group helps tremendously. I mean, I'm on LinkedIn. I am reading, every gift shop magazine. I am reading every article that comes out from every retail expert. And it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it's a blessing and a curse, because sometimes it's very helpful. And sometimes I'm just like, oh my goodness, where am I going with all of this? I will also say that during COVID, I met with a branding specialist. And I don't normally, I'm a DIYer. Like, I like to do everything myself because I have like zero profit, and I would just rather dump that back into my business. So I do a lot of my own, but I did meet with a branding specialist during COVID, and she really helped me to kind of focus on what's very important to me with my brand. And I think once that happens, you kind of have, all your brain systems kind of shift, and you start to see things and focus on things that you didn't before. And I just think that, I've been closer with LinkedIn than ever before, which I think is great, because at any given moment you're on there and you get such valuable articles and resources. And I mean, I don't know. I just, everything's digital right now. So that kind of stuff has been very, very helpful. But the branding specialist really turned it around for me, gave me hope, gave me a focus again, put passion back in, because, it was a very trying time, a very scary time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but yeah, I mean, I just think getting together with people who have the same kind of vision as you, have the same kind of worries as you, always helps, and then just doing your due diligence as far as a business person, and just kind of, networking as best you can. And every opportunity that comes your way, you need to take it. That's what life looks like right now, So the digital market at New York Now, you best be sure. I booked a room at the Borgata, and I locked myself in there for 2 straight days because I needed to take advantage of that opportunity. And I wasn't going to let any external influences or distractions kind of come my way, because I wanted to make sure that I, was attentive, and I took advantage of that opportunity, because that market was just incredible.
Well, thanks. I love how you actually made it as close to a physical event as you could, right? You would have traveled in, you would have stayed in a hotel,
Yep.
right? You
Well,
did that anyway.
You know what? And the thing is that like it totally, I mean, it's a part of like your year. Do you know what I mean? Your plan.
Yeah.
And you kind of look forward to it because then you see people you haven't seen in a while and either fellow store owners, and or just brands and you just see these people and you look forward to it so much and it's away from your store and you get to see all the new and exciting things and emotionally it's like Christmas for us, right? Like we look forward to those days, those trips, those markets. So I just wanted to make it you're right, as true to the experience as I could, but I wasn't going to miss that. No way. No how.
Well, what's really interesting in looking at the back data, you can see how active people are. And, just like I know back in the day when I was buying, I walked down every aisle. And I know that you're one of those. You walk down every aisle, you look at everything. You don't want to miss anything. Yep. And you can see those people digitally. Like you can see those behaviors. And it's really, it's beautiful to see. Yeah. Because you don't ever want to lose that. So you're holding on to it as best you can. So yeah, the digital market was fun, first time out of the gate. And we're just going to continue to make it a better buying experience. So,
I mean, what a great resource, honestly. I mean, you're there and you're looking all around and there's thousands of products and people and ideas and intentions and all that. But when you're doing it digitally, I mean, listen, I'll never not go to market. So as soon as it's open again, we're there. Right. But to actually write notes and say, okay, like this page and this thing and this person, and I'm sending a message and I'm getting a reply back and all of these things. It's just been so beneficial. I mean, like I said before, it's what we needed the most right now. So
absolutely. Yeah. You know what I found that was fun is I had a few conversations with some exhibitors. And I spoke with Jane from Focal Point, and she has these beautiful Tunisian textiles and robes and towels, and they're beautiful. And she was holding them up to show me, and I said, "Bring it closer to the camera." So she literally held it right up to the camera, and I could see the weave, and I could get as close to a visceral feeling of touching that fabric as possible. So I think we're going to start seeing that shift too in how you sell online. So I would ask you to be as vocal as you can be to the people who you're talking with.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, I think we are breaking barriers ourselves, right? Send me a text, send me a picture, send me a video. I don't care what it looks like. Just, I need to see it in the raw, so we are breaking each other's boundaries, breaking them down and just being more comfortable with doing it however we can at this point, because you can't be there in person,
Yeah, 100%. This last year has totally pushed us to change and embrace change and accept technology and business diversification and just really stretch our vision. Yeah. And I know that you've also made some shifts to your store, like store hours, and you've created more virtual shopping. You've probably mentioned them already, but are there any other unique ways that you've embraced change that maybe are less obvious for us that we wouldn't see on the outside?
I mean, I'm doing a lot of booking virtual shopping appointments, which I don't think is new. I think people are doing it, you know what I mean? But I just kind of set myself up for they can book an appointment with me and I lock myself in my store. No one can come in and I'm touring the store with them at their convenience. And so I also have to add, so my 4 children are home and they're all virtual. So that's been another facet to this that I know many people are dealing with as well. So I cut down my hours also to be home for them. So I couldn't not try to supplement something sales wise to make up for sales, right? So 2 things. 1, the virtual shopping appointment. And 2, I was never really prepared for online sales when this hit. And I will be very honest and forthright and transparent about that. I was not prepared. I didn't need it, and I feel so stupid saying that now, but I didn't necessarily need it. And I was like, oh, I'll set up the system properly later. Oh, I'll do this properly later. Oh, I'll find the right fit, best fit. Oh, I'll do this when things are perfect. And that hit me hard because I was like, there are people thriving because they were set up prepared. And here I am call me, text me. I'll take a sample wherever you want. I'll drop it off at your house. And then I had to work a million times harder. So now I am setting up the systems that I need to. And I hope, and I know it's not just going to be good for now. This is going to set the e-commerce part of my business up tremendously going forward. So it's a win-win. I just wish I would have done this the right way sooner,
Well,
So now I'm just doing that now. Now I'm switching my website and I'm switching how people can order, and I have to redo inventory and all of that. And you know what? It's a lot of sweat right now, but I know it's worth it. But I wasn't prepared, and it was a hard lesson learned,
yeah,
when you're just
I do. Well, you certainly weren't the only one in that boat by any means. And the reality is I hate to say it, there's something else that's going to happen in the future. So we don't know what it is yet. So you're better prepared for that. I think we all are better prepared for that now.
Yeah.
As we come to the end of this, is there anything that I've left out? Or is there anything additional that you'd like to mention or share with us?
I think that everyone should just really stick to who they are and stick to the brand that they've been building. And if you're new, just make sure you know that brand, because I think that it's been really neat to see so many creatives come out of the woodwork and say, hey, listen, I was furloughed. I'm now working from home. I want to do this creative thing in my life that I've been dreaming of. And they're like throwing it out there because they can. And it's so amazing to see. There just has to be a nice little like plan in your mind and a brand so that you can just like make it bigger, But yeah, just stay true to your brand, your core values. And if you don't know them, now's the time to figure it out. You know what I mean? And
I do. Spot on.
And for all of your loyal customers, just love them hard because I don't know, I'm doing something special for the holidays, and it was supposed to be in person, but it's not. But I'm going to send all the customers who have been with me, helping me ordering during the pandemic. I've kept a list of who they are, and I'm sending them something for the holidays just to say thank you, because I just think that we need to show a lot of love to our loyal customers, the ones who were there when we needed to stay open. Even the people just buying gift cards, even the people just whatever I can do, if I can share, if I can, share your social media platform, whatever. So I think we need to love, cherish, know our brand, and just love our loyal customers really hard.
Oh, that is a beautiful way to bring this to an end. But yet we're not. I'm going to add just a few more things that I've heard you say over the course of this conversation that I took the time to write down because I found it very poignant. Digital is the new retail strategy. Yeah, I agree, 100%. You said stay neutral, which I thought was really interesting. To me, I take that as you got to be nimble, stay neutral, and figure out which way you need to go with whatever hits you. And everything is hitting us. The stimulus is insane right now. You said stop trying to make everything perfect. And that's true. Yeah.
You can't.
You said find your people, which I love. So I consider you one of my people, just so you know.
Oh, yay. I feel the same. That feeling is mutual for sure.
What is the best way to reach you?
Instagram is the easiest. Pineapple on Main. It's the same handle for LinkedIn and Facebook and my email and my website. Everything's Pineapple on Main. So you can put that into your search engine and whatever pops up on there for you.
They're going to be there. I love it. Well, I have to say that you are very special, and Pineapple on Main is very special. I can't wait to see it. And I think we're so excited to hear about your reopening and expansion, especially in these times. So congratulations.
Thank you.
For not, stopping your momentum, but just reassessing and you kept going. So bravo.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So have a really great rest of your evening, and we will talk soon.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the New York Now podcast. Make sure to tune in weekly for engaging and insightful conversations touching on the most relevant topics facing our community today. Visit NewYorkNow.com to learn more about our market and how you can join in on the conversation.